Hello, everyone. Amber Hawkins, your computer needs a Toledo LLC, celebrating year number 16 of computer training more that comes to you. More information can be found at yourcomputerneeds.net. We're going to just go on ahead and get started with, I'm going to call this day 3 and day 4. I wasn't able to be with you for the actual day 3 and day 4, but I'm going to make sure that the information still gets to you all. Day 5 was supposed to have been today, but instead it's going to be tomorrow, which from what I've mentioned and probably from all the promos and everything coming up that you've seen, that Windows 11 will be premiering to the world tomorrow or later today, depending on your time zone and where you are in the world. What are you looking at right now? You are looking at 6 pictures in which I'm going to use to combine day 3 and day 4 together. This is in regards to the next 2 phases of preparing for Windows 11. Number 1, as you are looking at, there are different ways that you can back up your system and save your files. We're going to start with the bottom left. That is an example of a thumb drive, or what is also known as a jump drive. It is a small device in which you can save your files, and that's any files from your word processing documents to audio files to video files, folders, and on from there. If you have a large enough jump drive or thumb drive, you can even use that to back up your whole system. So that's one way you can do it. Another way is in the middle, the 2 pictures in the middle. And before I go on, the picture to the top right is also an example of a thumb drive or a jump drive, depending on how people call it. And that picture to the top left is how you would put that into your laptop or your desktop. Just to let you know, usually tablets do not have USB slots, as it's called, but there is a way for those who have tablets can still back up their systems. I'll be talking about that soon. Let's get to the 2 middle pictures. Those are examples of hard drives. The one in the bottom in the middle is an example of one of the companies that manufacture hard drives. It's not the whole picture, but it is a small picture of an internal hard drive. The one in the top middle is an example of an external hard drive. You would plug into the USB port, similar to what you see in the top left-hand corner. You plug that into the USB slot, and then what will happen is the directions will start coming up to start the process of backing up your system. You want to do this because you want to make sure you don't lose anything. Not that you will, you'll still have everything, but it doesn't hurt because it's going to be a major change. After all, you are changing operating systems. You're changing from Windows 10 to Windows 11. If you had been with me for the first 2 days, you will see, number 1, that Windows 11 is going to have a different look and a different feel than Windows 10. And secondly, there is going to be moving around as far as where you would do this task. Probably the app that you will be using will be located in a different area. There is a command that might have a name change or anything like that. Keep in mind, backing up is a safe thing to do, and it is a task that is highly recommended. Also, it is a task that you will have to give some time for. If you're going to use an external hard drive. Some people would rather have it done on their internal hard drive if that is set up correctly, and that is fine. You just need to make sure you have room enough to do so, because you are going to need a lot of room. For those who have the tablets and also for those who have the smartphones, and even if you have a laptop or a desktop, the third option to the right that you see, the top right, is a picture of an example of cloud storage, as it's called, or online backup. It could be done with you doing it using an online drive. Some people use Google Drive, some people use Dropbox, and there are many other companies that provide the capability of saving your files and everything online, so it won't take up hard drive disk space, or you can contract out a company to do it for you. An example of that is on the bottom right. There are some companies, and although this is a Photoshop picture, just have an idea that machinery is used to help do the backup. A company will be doing the backup for you. They could be located in town, they could be located out of town, out of state, even in another country. Will cost be involved? Definitely cost will be involved with companies that will perform this task for you. And you will need to have the budget for that. A lot of people need to understand that if you're going to purchase, let's say, a thumb drive or a jump drive, if you're going to purchase an external hard drive, if you're going to be signing up with a company and you're going to contract out a virtual assistant, let's say, to perform the online backup on a, let's just say, a more personalized scale, or you're going to have a company do everything for you to back up your system, make sure your files are safe, encrypted, coded, all of that, there will be a cost. Cost can be minimal to quite a good amount. The cost can be from something that can be offered as a free trial. That can happen, to where you're just going to outright say, this is the cost. Okay, let me get this. Let me get it for this amount of time. Are you going to request online backup services for a whole year? Are you going to request it for 2 years until you have to renew again? Are you going to rely on cloud backup and do it yourself, or you contract someone out to do it for you? These are the questions you need to ask. Let's take it, if you're going to do it yourself or you're going to have somebody do it for you. Are they going to back up your system on an internal hard drive as part of your laptop or desktop or any other devices that hold hard drives? Or will an external hard drive be used? Are you planning to go with the scale of using a thumb drive or jump drive yourself? How often are you going to be doing this? That's a question you really need to include. Are you going to do it on a weekly scale? Are you going to do it daily? Are you going to do it every other week? Are you going to do it once a week on a Friday, once a week on a Monday, once a week on a Wednesday? If you're going to have someone else do it for you, how often will they do it? Either another person or another group of people or a company or whatever is going on, or what will go on with you and or your company. Will they do it once a week? Will they do it every other day? Will they do it every other week? Will they do it once monthly or once per quarter, depending on what's going on? Will you, as far as online backup, if you're doing it yourself or you're having someone else doing it, will that be done every day, every other day, once a week, once a month, once a quarter? How will that be done? How will you do this? And also make sure that there is enough storage. The bottom middle picture, for example, that has indication that there are 250 gigabytes. For many people, this may be a term you've heard, but not familiar with you. But I'm going to put it this way to make it simple for everyone. Will you have enough room to save your files and to back up your whole system in case anything happens? You may have a situation in which you have a lot of file store, a lot of pictures and a lot of videos and a lot of audio files too. It is not that different types of documents don't take up space, because they do. Just certain files take up more space than others. Audio and video files have been known to take up a lot of space because a lot is required. With video, you might as well say a combination of pictures and sound. Depending on the way you save your pictures, you have picture files that can take up a lot of space, depending on how you save your audio files. Especially if you save your audio files on, instead of what may be considered a standard format of saving audio files, you may save them so it could be the best sounding audio file ever. Those type of files can take up a lot of room. So I'm asking all these questions in different ways just to show you and give you an example of what's all involved in this. Time is going to be of the essence. Depending on what you have to save, it is not a quick process. It is going to take some time, depending on what's going on. If you're using a thumb drive, if you're using your internal drive and you're having it what's called partitioned, which means there's a special way of hard drives being separated. Think of it kind of like, slicing a pie or whatever. There's a slice of the pie that can hold your backup, and this other part of the pie can be used for the rest of your laptop or desktop. That's for internal hard drives. For your external hard drive, will you have a large enough one to do so? For your phones, your desktop or your laptops, or the devices that have the hard drives needed, or you have it where the device that you have gives you ample ability to have the contents of it backed up. I have to say devices because we have more than laptops, we have more than desktops, we have more than tablets, and on from there. Online, in this case, will be the best option. Will it be an online backup where you do it yourself or someone else on a particular scale does it for you? Or you going to contract out a company on either a small or large scale, will do it for you. Those are, I'll say overall, what you need to make sure that you have the answers to. Will you, with all these other questions, I'll leave it with this question. Will you take on, and after all these questions are asked and answered, conclude that after you do your backup, you're going to implement Windows 11 soon, or will you implement it at another time? That we're going to be talking about on day 5, which will be October 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Amber Hawkins, your Computer Needs of Toledo LLC, celebrating year number 16 of computer training and more that comes to you. If you have any questions, call or text to 419-304-4564. Click on the contact link of yourcomputerneeds.net on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and also YouTube. The handle is YCN OTLLC 05. The handle is YCN as in Nancy, OTLLC 05. Before I forget, you can use that for Skype as well. Take care, everyone. Be safe and get ready tomorrow for day 5. Bye-bye.